Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We welcome you, whatever time and wherever in the world you are listening. We are pleased you have found us. You are now listening to Inside the Bunghole, a podcast taking you on a journey through wine. Together, we will learn more about this wonderful elixir of life. So raise your glass to welcome your hosts and partners in wine, Pam and James. You are now inside the bunghole.
Welcome to a very exciting show, Inside the Bunghole, in Guadalupe, Valle de Guadalupe, just outside of Ensenada, Mexico. We're so excited to be here. We're talking with Benjamin Peña Guerrero of Nativo Venicola.
Correct, Venicola.
And we're blessed because not only do we get to talk with Benjamin, we're tasting his beautiful wines, we're staying at his beautiful Airbnb, and we're eating dinner tonight at his beautiful restaurant.
Yes.
Welcome. It's me and
Thank you.
James and I are
Thank
here.
you. Gracias.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
De nada.
De nada.
And we're in a wine cellar also.
The Cava.
Sí.
Cava.
Sí.
Now, what made you decide I want to become a winemaker?
Well, everything started 12 years ago. I am an architect, and I started to make some designs of buildings for the cellars and all this kind of installations for the wine. And I needed to investigate how it works, how to do the wine, to make a good designs, to make it the better designs, like an architect. And in this moment, I stayed there, and I keep there, and I like it because it's very strange. Because once after the first time you came to this world, you cannot go outside.
It sucks you in.
Yeah.
So
That's
did you enjoy wine when you were working, when you were younger as an architect? Did you always like wine?
Not much, really not much. We have to be sincere. We are in the place where the wine is important, the wine is been developing very fast and interesting. And we used to drink wine sometimes, but not like that. Not like now. I'm sorry.
Right.
So this area has exploded over maybe the past. When did it get really crazy with winemaking here in the valley?
Well, I've been looking at maybe from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Started to develop in most fast and really fast. It was like 3 or 4 biggest wineries from a long time ago. One of them more than 100 years.
Wow.
And we can say the name is Santo Tomás, Bodega de Santo Tomás. It was a pioneer in this world of the wine. But only 2 or 3. After this, in the last 20 years, I think, it's been a lot of wineries and very good products, very good
Grapes.
wines and grapes.
Yes, and the wines have been getting better and better and better.
Exactly.
As the winemakers learn more and more,
Well, when you think of Mexico, you think, tequila or beer. And wine is it's growing. It is really growing because there's a lot of wineries now.
Over 151 in this valley, see? 150 vinícolas.
I think more than this.
Yeah?
I think people say that we are more than 200 and registered from the
Yes.
how to say, for the payment of the taxes.
Yes.
They told me that we are like 300.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of wineries, small wineries like us maybe, and that's the reason that because you don't look it there, so
It's not you have a small production.
small production, absolutely.
And how many acres? How many wine, like how big is your property?
Well, our property is really small, very small. We have 2 acres only. 2 acres, and we have to buy some grapes, and we have a very special way to do it, like society where some grape producers. And they produce the fruit, the grape,
Yep.
and they don't have installations to make the wine. So they bring us the grapes, and we make the wine, and we give them some part of the wine, and that's really good for us because
It's a win-win.
yeah, and to maybe to develop the agriculture is very absorbent for the time and
Right.
So it's
So everybody kind of works together.
yeah.
Some people grow the grapes. You guys have a beautiful cellar down here where do you press the grapes?
Well, that's what we do. But I don't know if the other small producers, maybe they only buy the grapes and that's all they do.
Yeah.
So are all your wines, are all the grapes sourced from Mexico?
Yeah, absolutely.
Every grape in here is from Mexico.
every grape. Maybe that's the reason, because we have a lot of labels, as you see. Maybe small productions in each one, and only 2 or 3 is more production because we have more grapes. Like example, like Cabernet Sauvignon and Nebbiolo. Maybe that 2 grapes, we are the owners of them, and so we don't depend of other people who produce the grapes.
And are you the taster and you're the actual winemaker?
Yeah. I told you before, when I was starting to introduce in the world of the wine, I had to make a master in wine and vineyards in the south of Spain, in University of Cádiz.
Really?
I
So
was
you
there
went to
1 year and a half just studying and to making a master for winery.
Very cool. You were dedicated.
Yeah. Well.
So what do we have in front of us here?
Yes. What is this?
And are you happy
beautiful
with this?
Well, this is the most easy to drink wine we do. It's a blend, we said before, into Merlot, Malbec, and Sangiovese. And it's not so tannic, some red fruits.
Yes. It smells beautiful.
It really smells nice.
It smells very,
I think clean.
yeah, it's clean. Very, not, sometimes it hurts your nose a little bit.
What's the number one grape grown in Mexico? Is it a Sangiovese, or what would you say that there's a lot
very,
of?
very interesting question. After this, I'm going to tell you why our name of Native and all the different labels.
Sure.
Okay.
If I'm sure if we will have a grape that we can say emblematic grape, maybe it should be Mission. It's not so known. Nobody knows too much.
Yes, it's very. I've never heard of a mission.
I think Mission it takes its name because the missionaries that came here, they put in that grapes
Those
here,
vines, yeah.
those vines, and from this time to now, it's growing here. This grape is
A red grape. It's a red.
It's a red,
It's a red.
with not much color, not so strong smells, expressive, not like this. But it's really good for some whites and rosé wines. It's very, very good. Other of the grapes that started to, how do you say, grow, plant?
Yeah, yes.
It's Carignan. Carignan.
Which is another grape that I
don't
not
know.
This grape, they say that they are the owners, the French guys and the Spanish guys. They say Carignan, say in French, and Carignana in Spanish.
Yes.
It's very interesting, and it likes this place. Really, it started to grow here for I don't know, 80 or 90 years ago. It's one of the most
The older,
older.
yeah, the pioneers.
Do you think Mexico, the wine, the grapes that are grown, it's we're near the ocean. Is it kind of like Sonoma in a way, land-wise, or is it more like Spain, or is it more like what are you close to as far as
a growing region?
Well, people say that we have a Mediterranean weather, and maybe that's true because we have a very cold nights, rain in the winter, and sunny days in the summer. And that's like the grapes, very sunny days and cold nights. And this is a good condition to make a good wines. In the night, they take the acidity. In the day, they take the sugar from sun. And this is a good condition for this kind of wines.
But they're traditionally more of a Mediterranean style type of wine that you guys are growing down here.
I think it is.
This is beautiful, by the way.
It's great.
Well,
It's really nice.
Very, very, very easy. Like you said, this is good to drink on the, you don't need food. It's just to drink.
Exactly. You don't need to some food or maybe a little piece of cheese. I don't know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you were going to tell us the name.
Okay, the name. Nativo. Nativo is native in English. I think it's in English. Mm-hmm. Nativo is like a tribute from the ethnics from Baja California. We have 4 ethnics. It's Kumeyaay, Paipai, Quiligua, and Cucapá. And that's the name of our labels. For example, this is Paipai, and we get together with Cabernet Sauvignon for the strongs, for the power, and like they was before.
And so these are named after different native tribes that used to live around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Cucapá is from the Laguna Salada, Mexicali. This is place. This is the Cucapá. This is the Nebbiolo.
Okay, this is kind of near us.
Yeah.
Mexicali.
Exactly. And Quiligua is our Syrah.
It's a Syrah.
Syrah.
Okay.
And what we are drinking now is the blend is the Kumeyaay.
Kumeyaay.
Mhm.
And that's the blend. And so you kind of named them after the personality of the...
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
We try to interpret...
See, he's an architect.
He's an architect. At the end of the day, he's an architect.
Who designed the labels?
Really a designer from Tijuana. Mm-hmm. And I only designed the how do you say, the catch dream?
Oh, the dream catcher.
The dream catcher.
Yes.
I designed. And our Auca, this is the wine. Mm-hmm. And Camioli is the rosé. Auca because it's the word that they use together to say hello.
Hello. Oh,
and
okay.
Camioli is they say, how you been?
How have you been?
Oh, good.
And so
hi, how are you?
Exactly. And the other, and it's the way to
natives.
say that we started to drink only normally with the white wines, and after rosés, and we go to the red wines.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And James and I had 3 bottles of this last night, and it's a Cabernet Sauvignon, but it's a rosé.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
You must be happy with that one.
Yeah, people like it. Really.
Yeah, people like it.
different.
Well, especially in the summertime, it's perfect
because
wine.
you drink it cold, chill. And,
Yes. So, why don't we take a quick break?
Take a break.
And we'll come right back. We're going to taste another wine, and we're going to talk about. I want to talk about your whole compound here.
Property here.
Sure.
Okay, we'll be right back.
If you want to know more about Inside the Bunghole, join us on all our social media platforms. You can get a revisit and view all the latest posts, giveaways, and information on this podcast. Simply search Inside the Bunghole on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Or you can email us at insidethebunghole@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, and visit our website at insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, where you can always find our latest podcast and past episodes. Cheers!
Welcome back. We are in the beautiful cellar, the cava of Nativo, speaking with Benjamin Peña Guerrero, the winemaker.
Yes.
Who the architect turned winemaker. And we're going to do a little fun side by side. We're going to taste his 16. This is the 16 Nebbiolo.
Nebbiolo.
And we're going to do the 17 next. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
This smells earthy, I think.
It's kind of dry. It's a nice.
I like the on the back of my tongue. It's
This would go very well with like a steak or something kind of
Yeah.
fatty, you know?
Normally, the Italian grapes, it have a good acidity.
Yes.
And you can feel it
yes,
there.
yes.
I'm getting that.
Right in the back, right in the jawline.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting that here.
And I smell some, just I remember there, flowers like violet.
Violet. Yeah, it's
And-
earthy,
And
earthy.
when you taste it, it feels more.
Okay, James wanted to know, tell us a little bit about your education. You went to Spain to learn how to become a winemaker.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I mean, you really were serious.
Yes, because I like it. My wife, she was retired, and she said, "Okay, I can go with you." The thing is, she didn't let me go to alone.
Yes, yes.
And so we said, "Okay, let's go." I was before in the university here, University of Baja California, and they had some interchange with another universities, some of the South America, like Argentina and Chile,
Yep.
and some in Europe, like Spain, Italy, and French. But I say, well, it's not going to be a long time, only 1 year and a half. And if I don't know the language of them,
Yes.
I prefer some place where I speak the same language than me. In Spain, it was good. And this University of Cádiz is in, they call it the Marco de Jerez, the cherry wines, where they do the cherry wines. Jerez. Jerez is the place. And the university is from Córdoba and Cádiz. Places in Andalusia.
Yes.
In the south of Spain.
And that's where they grow good grapes in the south of Spain? Andalusia?
Andalusia, normally is for the cherry wines, but anyway, they have very, very good grapes. They have some autochthonous grapes, very strange names, like one of them is Tintilla de Rota, they say the Prieto Picudo, Melonera is very interesting. This grape is a grape, red grape, with some lines white around it, like a melon, like
Like a
watermelon.
watermelon.
Oh, how funny.
They call it melonera, like a watermelon. and something like that. But well, anyway, this is interesting for me, like a culture. But anyway, I went there to learn to make the normal wines, the traditional wines, not the cherry wines. It's very different,
Yes.
this kind of wines.
Very sweet, yes?
Yeah, some of them, you know that they have some very, very dry.
Yeah.
Very dry. One of them is named Vino, and it's very, very dry. Well, that's another kind of wines. Very interesting. But and anyway, but I went there because I wanted to learn to make this kind of wines. And the thing that made me decide why to go there is because of the weather. It's very similar than this. The same rain in winter and very
Warm, dry.
very warm. Yeah.
Summers.
Was the university hands-on? Did you work with these machines and you
Learned
the
how,
grapes
or
with-
was it more chemistry?
I'm sorry.
when you
That's
learned,
okay.
when you were at the university? Did you actually make wines?
Okay.
With a
Sure.
teacher and showed you how
Okay.
to press grapes. and,
Okay.
like, what,
This is-
or is it just in a book?
I learned some things like that, the equipments that I needed, but normally it's biggest, and I needed something very small because I have small production. I don't need a very big
Huge.
tank or the press or the filler or the cork, etc. And I needed to investigate here in some places like Napa Valley, the different how do you say, distributors of these products. Normally it's from Italy. Most of them, some of them is from Croatia. The tanks is stainless steel. And you know something? This press, it made it one friend of mine. He have a garage. Well, it's not garage. It's like
a big warehouse.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I got a grape crusher. You do? And you got it out here?
Yeah, we
wow.
take the design from a presser from Italy, and he made it. It really works pretty good.
A homemade one.
So do you make everything in a steel tank, and then do some stay in the steel tank, or does it all go to barrels?
When I started to make the fermentations in tanks of, how do you say, plastic at the beginning.
Okay, yeah.
At the very, very beginning, but it's not the same in quality. And
See.
I decided to make it in stainless steel, finally. Some of them is small, like this, as you see there.
Yes.
500 liters for the white wines or
Yes.
for small productions.
And tell me about your oak. Where do your barrels, where are they made at? Where do they come from? Or do you get different ones?
The most of them I buy it American oak because of the price is very, very different. The price is
Very different.
And when I buy some French, it's from second use.
Right.
Yes.
And I made it to the age. I made it in half and a half of time, 6 or 7 months in American and 6 or more in French.
Okay.
And it works pretty good. And from some kind of grapes, you know, is better the American oak.
Yes.
Like the Symphony Isles, like grapes like that, they like it, this kind, and it is very good results.
So
with
so certain grapes, certain wines do better in like American oak than French oak.
Yeah.
Is the French oak it's the taste that maybe takes over the grape, or what makes the two different oaks taste different?
The components of the wood.
The wood.
For example, the American oak tree is, I think, a little more sweet and with a vanilla, very, very strong vanilla. So when they are brand new, the oak barrels, it doesn't have to be much time there because it's going to give a lot of vanilla to the wines. And some of them hold it very good and developing good with this kind, but others we need to be a little of time, not much time.
Yes.
Or some, nothing. And the same occurs with the French. It's most soft than the American, I think. But it's another kind of components like pepper,
yeah.
and cinnamon,
Yes.
and this kind of, how do you say, species.
Yeah.
Yes.
Species.
Interesting.
And the American is more like I told you before,
Vanilla.
like vanilla and how do you say, toast bread.
Yeah, yeasty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeast.
Yeah.
And all this kind. Anyway, it's a question of the different
Taste.
kind,
Which-
the taste, and then what you like more.
Yeah.
That's
And
another thing.
you decide. You sit there and go, I think this is better in the American
Yeah,
oak.
that's what I
We met a winemaker who didn't have the money for barrels, but he had a steel tank, and he bought a barrel, but he cut it up and threw the
chips.
the chips
Yes.
and board
It works, really
in
works.
there, and to get that on a
It
cheaper
works.
end. Yeah.
The only thing it happened is the new one oak barrels. How do you say it? When get together these
The staves.
Okay,
Yeah.
the stave. At the beginning, it permits that go inside a very, very microscopic quantity of oxygen, like 2 or 3 milligrams of oxygen per liter.
Yeah.
And after 3 uses, it's sealed and it doesn't permit that go inside the oxygen, and this is not good.
It's just tight. It's
Oh,
too
so
tight.
it needs,
Yeah.
so it
Little
needs
bit of-
that.
That's
leakage.
one of the reasons that if you put the chips into the stainless steel tank,
Yeah.
you need to make another process that is named micro oxygenation. That's
So you
what
have to
need.
input the oxygen in there. Interesting.
Yeah, really.
Are you enjoying making wines? Are you happy right now doing this? Are you
I
glad?
like it. I like it. I really like it. It's like any business you make. At the beginning, it's very interesting. It's like a hobby. But when you started to grow a little, it's like any business that you have some problems. That you're gonna be stressed now because you need this and that, and I need sale. I need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, all around the business,
It's
there's
business.
problems normal that
It's
they have.
business.
Is there one type of wine you want to make? You're maybe a little too scared, or not sure if you can do it, or a challenge? Is there something out there you want to do? Another, maybe a champagne? I don't know, a sparkling. Is there something you want to do eventually?
Something new?
Yeah.
Yes, it really is. How do you say? It's a passion. And,
Yes.
And you would like to make anything new, something new, each time, each year. And sometimes you can make it. The time wins you the time. And whenever you say, "Oh, I didn't make this year," I say last year that I have to do like a sparkling wine or a kind of champagne, but not always you have the time because I need something more to help me this, and this is the process I am now. I need someone that help me to make
A different,
the
a
pollination
whole, yes.
to make the.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the property here. I'm sure we're staying in a round room. Did you design that? To build it right next to your restaurant? It looks like a barrel I'm in.
See.
Yes.
So that's your design?
Uh,
Did you design this property that we're at? Is this,
If I tell you the truth, I'm not so satisfied because it's been developing very improvised. It's okay that word. It's improvised.
it's in the,
Very anarchic.
Yeah,
Very
it's ongoing. It's ongoing.
Yeah.
It's ongoing.
Because I didn't made in the beginning. I'm going to make this project exactly for this. It's going to be a winery. I never say that. At the beginning, I say I'm going to make a small house for the weekends here, and after this, the second, I'm going to make a small cellar. A small bodega, and after, I need to grow more, and so this is not good because you are growing so, how do you say that?
Yes.
Anarchic, I say anarchic.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hodgepodge.
anarchy. Yes.
Okay.
So it grows, and then this grows,
See.
and that grows.
Yeah,
it
and now a restaurant.
yes, see.
Right.
So, and we're going to eat at your restaurant
See.
tonight. I'm so excited. One of the things that we saw them making last night that we're definitely going to eat tonight is the
Tomahawk.
the tomahawk steak.
The tomahawk steak.
Yes.
Which, boy, this, the Cabernet.
Like a
Sauvignon
Cabernet.
would be
It's
perfect.
very
Yeah.
good for it.
Yeah. Yes.
Now let's try the 17.
Okay.
The 17, Nabil. And then we will kind of wrap things up, or do we want to go to another break?
Let's go to another break.
Okay, we're gonna go to another break. We'll be right back, and then we're gonna wrap things up and find out, let you guys know how to find out more about Nativo Venicola.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be right back.
If you want to know more about Inside the Bunghole, join us on all our social media platforms. You can get a revisit and view all the latest posts, giveaways, and information on this podcast. Simply search Inside the Bunghole on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Or you can email us at insidethebunghole@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, and visit our website at insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, where you can always find our latest podcast and past episodes. Cheers!
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Benjamin at Nativo Venicola in Valle de Guadalupe, just outside of Ensenada. And we're having the 2017 now. This is the new
Totally different.
Nebbiolo.
Wow.
Nebbiolo. It does this, the smell. The other one was sort of dusty, almost like an old.
And this has a little sweet hitting you, like a plum, like a
plum.
yeah.
Fruity. It's a little more fruitier. And again, the acidity gets you right in the back of the.
It does. Not as hard as the other one.
Yeah.
It does. It has more of a.
So we are going to find out how you can. You do have a website,
Yeah.
so that you can book. If you're coming down to this area, you can go online, and you have the Airbnb, which we are staying at, Nativo.
Which is amazing.
Venicola,
If
which is really
anyone
cute
is
room.
heading to Mexico towards the California way, make it a stop. Stop here.
It's a
Awesome.
really cool vibe that you get from the whole area. And Benjamin was telling us that he has a small distribution. He sells to the distributor. The distributor sells to a few winery or a few restaurants
Throughout Mexico.
But he does sell, and he does get some distribution in California. Do you know where he's distributing? Is it in San Diego? Is it Southern California?
Yes. There is a company that sell wines in California. Some of wines from the Valle de Guadalupe, and one of them is our wine. We have 4 labels there. We have the Syrah, we have the blend, we have the Tempranillo and Petit Syrah. These 4 labels we sell that. And I don't have it here with mine the name of the telephone number or this kind of thing.
Right.
But we are putting there like we have like 1.5 years ago.
1.5 years ago. Because Californians are very interested in this area. I'm sure you get a ton of people from California here. And I think more and more distributors in California are looking at Mexican wines.
Yes. Yes. Everyone's talking about wines from Mexico.
So it's a good time to be you.
It's a good time. It's going to get good.
I hope so.
And the website is Nativo
Nativo
Venicola.
Venicola. Mm-hmm.
And again, the restaurant is beautiful. It's a very boutique winery. How many production-wise? How many barrels do you usually make a year?
Between 35 to 40 a year.
35 to 40 a
Of
year.
barrels. Mm-hmm.
And most of them are available right here. This is where you're going to come to get them.
Along with a steak or seafood, or it's heaven up there. It really is.
Yeah, it's great music. The music you play, the kitchen's outside. It amongst the trees, and you have a little part of the vineyard is down here.
Small vineyard.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's beautiful.
Looking back at you being an architect, and then you changed sales, you went to school in Spain to learn to make wine, supported your wife, which is great. Looking at your portfolio right now, what do you think? You happy with it?
When I question what is the best wine I've been made, I think the best is going to be next. But when I look, some of them is good ones. We have to be very, very sincere with this, and sometimes it doesn't make the things as we would like to do it. But some of them is really give us some satisfaction because it's been developing really good, interesting. And that's why we try to make it. Every one of them is good wine.
I think they're wonderful.
With their own personality, because this is interesting. Somebody say me, it have the sign of the house, okay? But anyway, this smells and tastes like Cabernet, and this smell and tastes like Tempranillo, or etc. etc. You know?
Yeah.
So that it tastes to Nativo, but anyway, they have our own label and something special that make the difference with the others.
Yes, your personality.
Yeah.
Your personality just a little bit makes it unique.
And speaking of unique, the Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc,
The
even though
Cabernet
it's,
Sauvignon. Yep.
yeah, even though it's a little on the pink side, why is that?
Okay. The last year, do you remember the 2020? It was very special year because the pandemic and all that things. Yeah, you know.
Yes.
Okay, and so it passed the time for us, the time to make the harvest, and we didn't have any white grape, you know. So, but we have here in our own vineyard, the Cabernet. We had to harvest, and we didn't have any white wine, so we say, let's make something different. Let's make a white wine with Cabernet. That is not easy because, as you say before, it have a very much color.
Purple, yeah.
And normally we make the white wines with the press. We press it directly, the clusters directly there. Not take the grapes out to the
skins.
skin, huh?
Yeah.
And we made it like this. And first we make it the steamer and crusher.
Yes.
Okay. And in this process between the steamer and crusher, to make the press, it take out some colors, and that's the reason, because it's with a very little rosé, with a little golden in the rosé at the side of the golden, not at the side of the red or
Yes.
orange.
Do you
And we say anyway, we name it white because the process is of white wine. So.
Yeah.
It's-
It's a beautiful color.
Do you think you could repeat this?
I can make it.
You
I
could?
can make
You
it,
think
and
you
I
do
like
again?
it to do it again.
I like it.
In fact, I know we're going to buy a couple bottles of that to take home.
Yes.
Because it's so different.
And you're very wise to take what you've had and be creative with it, you know?
Yes, in different circumstances. That's
Yeah.
what makes a good entrepreneur,
And a good winemaker.
and a good winemaker.
Thinking on
Is when what God gives you, you take and you make wine. I can't help it. This is what happened, so that's what we're gonna do.
But it was wonderful. Wonderful.
If you look the colors of the rosé and
Yes.
the white, you can see it's exactly the same. Well, not exactly, but very, very similar.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
You see.
Yes. Well, very good.
Well, Benjamin, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
For teaching us a little bit about your beautiful winery, and we will be back. We will be back, and we'll bring some crazy friends with us, and we'll be partying at Nativo pretty soon.
No, thank you, Pam, and thank you, James.
Thank you.
I really appreciate too much these things that we've been talking about the wine this morning.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we can tell you're so passionate about it. It's just amazing. So everybody, Nativo Venicola in Valle de Guadalupe. Come visit Benjamin.
It's a quick drive from the San Diego border.
Yes.
Gracias.
Quick drive.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
If you want to know more about Inside the Bunghole, join us on all our social media platforms. You can get a revisit and view all the latest posts, giveaways, and information on this podcast. Simply search Inside the Bunghole on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Or you can email us at insidethebunghole@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, and visit our website at insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, where you can always find our latest podcast and past episodes. Cheers!